What is up, Maples is doing here? So today I'm going to be showing you guys basic gear progression throughout the early game and mid game, going over a rundown of what you should be doing late game and giving you a set of items that you need late game in the description, or not need, but are the best late game in the description, as well as what gear you should be cubing in order to get the most out of your money and stuff like that. The cubing stuff is going to be on the later half of the video, so if you need that, I'll be putting a link to that in the description below as well. Alright, so for starters, we're going to assume you're level 100 for this, or 100 plus, because before 100, even after 100, your range doesn't really matter that much. This is just to help you, because you're going to be leveling, you might as well level from these and do your dailies here, and just get them while they're really like, beneficial, if you will. So starting at 100, you're going to want to get your secondary from Neville. He can be found in most towns, and he has secondaries for, I believe, every class. Now, this isn't necessarily the best in slot. The Princess no one is, but you're best off sticking with this pretty much forever. Just because it's not really worth the money to upgrade to a Pino secondary. So other than that, you're going to be aiming for the Zachem Eye and Face, which are going to help you get the boss set effect, which is... Let me see if I can find that. Alright, I have one here. Which gives you weapon attack and stat, as well as health and such, and so on. So that set effect is really nice. You're going to start getting that once you get these boss equips. Make sure you're you're equipping the helms from Zachem as well, because that charm is going to help you get a pocket slot, which is going to help you get another boss accessory right here in the Pink Holy Cup or the Stone of Eternal Life from Hilla. So those are both very nice. Next off at 120, you can do Hilla, start getting Necromancer gear to sell or NPC, and you can get the Stone of Eternal Life, which is the pocket item, but once again, you're going to need a level 30 charm in order to get that pocket item. Then you're going to talk to Big Edward and get the rose clipping from herbs, or harvesting herbs. So yeah, that takes a little while. Getting level 30 charm took me about 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, so that's something you're going to want to farm daily. Other than that, you can farm Blackgate bosses at this level, because Blackgate rings are endgame rings. I have one right here. And this ring is endgame because of the set effect, or I believe it is endgame. So you could farm Blackgate rings if you need rings. They're pretty good rings to potential as well, because they are used for a very, very long time, if not forever. I don't remember what the math is, and I don't necessarily trust any math done on endgame gear right now, because there's so much debate on it. But anyways, that's derailing from the point. Blackgate rings can be farmed over at Blackgate City, which can be found in the Dimensional Mirror. All the way towards the end, you just go to one of the maps I believe it's called the Western Battlegrounds, to farm mine personally, and you just wait for the bosses to spawn, and you kill those bosses, and it has a very, very small chance to drop the ring. Fortunately, usually 2 spawn at a time, and if you use a spider, that makes it even better. So yeah, you can do that. Starting from 125, I think it's 125 because that's what this right here says. If you look at this and you hover for that, mid-level 125, you could do RA, which is Root Abyss daily. And I would suggest doing all 3 bosses. Now, you can't necessarily solo this at that level. However, if you join any guilds, I'm sure they'll be willing to help you. And you do this for the shards, which lets you get stuff like this right here, the Magnus Soul, if you combine 10 of them, which can be used to give you extra attack or magic attack on your weapon, as well as bonus stats. In this case, my weapon has a 5% boss damage bonus from my Magnificent Pierre. From there, from 125, I would suggest leveling till 140. And once you're at 140, you have a bunch of stuff you can do. So you have Magnus for the Soldier and Badge. As you can see, I'm still using the badge because potting the Ghost Exorcist Exorcist one is just not worth it right now. I'd rather just potential other stuff and hold on to this while it has more attack and gives me the boss set effect. You could do easy horntail for the earrings, which also give the boss set effect. I believe they call the Decidius earrings or something like that. And the ring, which you can see I'm still using here as well. And those are both very good, and they both get the boss set effect. Once again, that boss set effect is very, very key to maximizing your damage early game because it gives you free attack on good equipment. So you're going to want those. You can do Pink Bean pre-quests, which are found in Temple of Time. This isn't necessarily to down Pink Bean, but this will help you level, as well as help you find Pensaler gear, which is the gear you're going to be wanting to aim for. So you're going to want the Pensaler head, you're going to want the Pensaler overall, you're going to want the Pensaler shoe, you're going to want the Pensaler cape, you're going to want the Pensaler glove, and you're going to want the Pensaler weapon for a total of a 6 set effect. I don't believe I need Pensaler on me. Oh, I do. Yeah, we can equip this, and you can see the 6 set effect is very, very nice. You get IED 20%, you get a lot of attack, and it's just very, very nice overall. This is a set you're going to be using for a very, very long time. So, yeah, I'll talk more about that set later on and what you're going to do with it. Other things you can do DIPQ daily for the glove. I don't believe I have any gloves on me. No, I do not. I only have the high quality one right here. But you're not going to be able to farm for the high quality one at that range, so aim for the normal quality one, which is still great. It's 8 attack or something like that. Something around there. It's still a very, very good glove, and you're going to want it for if you ever end up upgrading your Pensaler gear to Root Abyss, for example, which we can talk about later as well. At 140, you can also farm the U Garden totems. These things are very, very strong. As you can see here, they give me a very nice range boost. They're not hard to farm at all. All you do is you go to U Garden and you kill some of the Yangshis, which can be found various places. U Garden itself can be found at Six Path Crossway via the I believe it's the Shaolin portal. It's the red one on the right hand side, right above Sleepy Woods entrance. So yeah, once again, not that hard to farm. Other than that, you have Golux. You're going to be wanting to do your Golux pre-quests because these rings are very strong. This ring specifically is endgame. Golux gear is very, very strong. The set effect is amazing. All the gear is really, really nice. So do that daily. You're going to want to farm, and what I mean by that is you're going to kill the abdomen. You're going to kill both of the shoulders. Loot all the coins from all those, and then you're going to leave without killing the head. And you're going to do that one more time. So you're going to end up doing that 2 times, and then you're going to kill everything, and then kill the head for easy Golux. Keep in mind that killing body parts, the more body parts you kill, the easier the boss becomes. So in this case, you're doing easy Golux at this level, or at this stage in the game. So it's okay to kill all 3 of the body parts, other than the head, both of the shoulders and the stomach, or the abdomen, or whatever you want to call it. But later on, you're not going to be able to do that, so you're going to only be killing, let's say, 2 body parts if you want to do normal, or 1 body part if you want to do hard. I'll be making a Golux guide later on to basically explain all of Golux as well, but that's a basic rundown for now. At 150, you can aim for the Ghost Exorcist badge. Why do I keep calling it that? Ghost Ship Exorcist badge, which is the endgame badge. However, you're better off using this for a long time, once again because of the set effect, plus the fact that you don't actually have to waste money starring or potential thing. Yeah, it's just stronger on its own. So just use the Magnus badge, but I would definitely go and get this badge once you hit 150. So 155, if you can get a carry for NMAG here, which is normal Magnus, then by all means do that, because that is very, very important. Nova gear is very, very strong. It's going to be a huge boost to your range. It's very, very useful. Getting the Nova cape, the Nova shoes, and the Nova belt are all very strong. It does not have a set effect, but as you can see here, it has a lot of base stats. If you can't get a carry, that's fine. You still have your Pensaler set. Just stick with that. Once you hit 160, you're going to want to start doing Commerci daily. This is very, very important that you do Commerci daily because Sweetwater gear is 100% RNG dependent. Basically, all the bosses in Commercially have a chance to drop Sweetwater gear, I believe. And what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get to, I believe it's past Rosa Town, so that way you can do Commercially Trade Union. That'll take, I think, 2 weeks or something like that to get there, maybe less. But once you get there, you're gonna want to do Commercially Trade Union daily. You can do it 3 times a day, and it's really, really nice because you can get Sweetwater gear. I got my Sweetwater staff from that. However, the chance is very, very low. I ended up getting a second one today as well. But once again, very, very, very low chance. This is around the stage where levels matter a lot. So around the stage, you're, let's say, level 170, you're going to want to hit 200 as soon as possible. You're going to be wanting to do your RAs daily. You need 10 in order to do Chaos Root Abyss. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to do Gollux daily. You're going to need to farm those coins so you can get toward the end game. So you can get superior rings, so you can get your reinforced stuff, so you can have superior earrings and all that fun stuff. Let's just talk about Pensali gear right now. So when we're talking about Pensali gear, you're going to want to start your weapon to at least, let's say, 12. 12 is a good number. So start your weapon to 12. Now, why is this? This is because you can transfer this weapon to any other level 150 weapon of the same type. So you can transfer it to the Japanese one, which we'll talk about a little bit, or I talk about in a little bit. You could transfer it to the Fafnir one, which is very, very, very strong. You're going to want to start all of your Pensaler gear to at least 6 to start off. You're going to want to get each one to about 6 other than the weapon. You're going to want to get the weapon at 10 as soon, or 12 as soon as possible. So get all your other gear to 6, and then you're going to want to start your glove, because your glove will give you weapon attack or magic attack in my case as a mage. So your glove is going to be the next start, followed by all the rest of the gear. So get your glove to 10, then get all the rest of your gear to 10. And then you're done with your Pensaler gear. You have it starred. You can e-pot it and roll around there with Master Craftsman cubes you get from Zakam or Hilla, but that's not advised. You can do it, but it's somewhat of a waste. Leaving these gears at Epic so we can transfer them is pretty much ideal. And once again, the 10 stars is critical. It's really, really cheap, and it's a good way to increase your range. So once you've done that, you're going to want to do Madman Renmara. Or not necessarily just Madman Renmara. You could do normal Renmara as well. Both of the Renmaras drop recipes, but Madman Renmara has a chance to drop the actual items instead of just the recipes, as well as the fact that it gives more recipes. Both the Renmaras give item shards as well, these legendary shards right here, the weapon and armor shards, and those are both necessary. You're going to need one of each to craft every single item. These item shards can also be found at Horntail, Hilla, and Zakam, at the very least. Those are the easiest ones to get them from. I'm sure there are other bosses that may drop them, but these 3 you should be able to kill at this level when you're aiming for the Japanese set. Make sure you're extracting gear so we can get superior item crystals in order to craft this. This gear is very important for bridging the way from Pensaler to Chaos Root Abyss, because right at that 150 level, you're going to be able to transfer hammer your 140 Pensaler gear to this gear while maintaining the Epic Potential Scroll. And if you cannot find a carry for Chaos Root Abyss, or someone was not willing to help you, then this gear is going to be the gear you use for a very long time. Madman Renmaru does not require that much range because currently he seems to be glitched. He always does his charge attack, and he always does he never spawns mobs as far as I've seen. Every single time I've killed him, I haven't seen a single mob. So it's very, very easy to kill Madman. I would say with 300 or 400k range, you could do it. Now that may seem like a lot, but once you've leveled up to like 200, you have points in everything, hyper skills, all that stuff. It's really not that difficult. You can acquire that with essentially base ranges, or not base ranges necessarily, but with the gear in this progression sheet, you will have similar stats to that. Alright, so let's talk about Chaos Root Abyss now. Chaos Root Abyss is essentially endgame from what I've seen. I don't think anyone has questioned that. This gear right here, the top, the bottom, and the hat are pretty much considered endgame, and these equips are somewhat difficult to obtain. Around this time, you want to be 500k or 600k range before you're even attempting this. So potentially your gear to get there, make sure you have a decent amount of PDR to kill C-Val, which you're not even going to attempt at this range, by the way, is 93% PDR, which is a lot. I mean, as you can see here, I only have 75. But anyway, once you're about 500k, 600k range, you could start looking for a group to do Chaos Root Abyss with and learn the mechanics. If not clear, you can always have guildies try and help you through it as well. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy to clear Chaos Root Abyss. A lot of people have trouble with it. As of right now, you can somewhat cheat through Von Bon and Queen, both Chaos versions, if you have a Hayato to bind it, and if they know how to bind, so you can always keep that in mind. I'm not sure if they'll ever fix that, or if that will be fixed soon or not. But as of the moment I've made this video, that is still very much a thing, and that makes killing it very, very easy. That's pretty much it. I'll be posting in one person's endgame description in the description below, and what their idea of the end game looks like. This might not necessarily be the best way to get to the best end game, but it's definitely something you can aim for. So let's talk about these right here, the secondary and the weapon and the emblem. And these are the three items that you're going to want to cube the most. So cubing these items will give you much better results than cubing any other item you have. Now, why is that? That's because these can give a boss damage, these can give magic attack, and these can give ignore enemy defense. That last one being somewhat irrelevant, and you're not really going to be looking for that, but if you get it, hey, it's somewhat nice. So your goal before cubing other equips is going to be to cube these equips as high as possible. So you're going to want to get these to legendary, you're going to want to get the big rolls before you work on anything else. Now, that's not true for any other gear except for these. So, once again, cube your weapon, or not necessarily Pensaler, but a 150 weapon is okay to cube this well. I would suggest cubing your secondary first, the one you got from Neville, the level 100 one, because this is something you're going to use basically forever. So aim for something like what you see here. 3 lines is amazing. This is going to improve your damage a lot. So aiming for 3 lines is not a bad idea. And the same with an emblem. If you have a level 100 emblem, I would suggest aiming for cubing that as well as soon as possible. It's probably better to cube that than it is your weapon, assuming you don't have a Sweetwater or a Fafnir weapon, because those weapons are... you're pretty much going to use those weapons forever. This emblem, if you don't have a level 100 one, there's going to be level 100 emblems published or released soon. I'm not sure if every class gets it, but I know many classes are getting it, such as Heroes. I believe Cygnus is getting one, and I believe Resistance are getting one as well. So there may be more than that, I don't know. But a lot of classes are getting level 100 emblems for their class. So that's very, very nice, and I would wait off until then or do some researching to see if your class is going to get that emblem. So as for cubing other equips, if you're working on, let's say, a ring, like let's say you're cubing your Superior Gullix ring and you get like 12% stat on it and it's epic or unique, that is fine. You can keep that ring and then work on another thing. The whole point of cubing is to get the most efficiency possible while also gaining range. So you're going to want to keep as much money as possible while gaining the most range possible. And how do you do that? Well, if you get a decent roll on an equip, but it's not necessarily legendary, well then you're going to want to aim, or you're going to want to keep that and then re-roll another equip. So let's say I get 12% stat on the Superior Gullix ring. Well, that's good enough to hold. I can go ahead and move on to my Sweetwater glasses in this case, and I can re-roll this until it gets, let's say, oh, that's a good number, 15. Let's say it gets 15%. Well then, wow, that's a good number as well. So from here, I can cube my pendant. Let's say this gets another 15. Well, I can cube my other pendant. Well, let's say this gets 10. Not 10. 9. Well, then I can cube another item, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. You don't want to go too hard on one item. There's no point to that. You're wasting money, and in the long run, you're pretty much shooting yourself in the foot because you're not getting yourself the most range as soon as possible. You're better off keeping stats you already have and cubing other gear than you are doing that. Now, the only exceptions are the secondary, the emblem, and the weapon, assuming you have a 150 or 160 weapon. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this guide. I hope that helps you. It's somewhat of a long video, 23 minutes or so from what I'm looking at right now. So I do apologize for that, but there was a lot of content to cover. And yeah, that's really it. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and message me. It's Rhinne on the Reboot server, as you can see in the bottom left corner. You can always message me down here on YouTube. You can always find me at my stream, message me there. I'll put that in the description as well. Full sellout. And yeah, I hope this helped you guys once again, and I'll see you guys next time.